Hello folks, welcome back to Oxygen Not Included. Last episode we built a telescope and Nicola is hard at work soaking in the radiation around him. Hopefully he does not get too much radiated. But you can see from the space up we have 218 rats that are coming in. And I should also block this up because yeah, why not? We need to start protecting our dupes a little bit. So I need to tech somebody up to build a couple of basic rat pills. So who should do that? Probably our cook, who is anyways overloaded. So Murray, can you also do medicine compounding? Yes, you can. Yeah, I don't understand why this is even there in the game anymore. Like there is no need for that. Murray, you do medicine compounding as well. So Murray is gonna be our cook, artist, and medicine. She can do all of that. She has plenty of time on her hands. Later on down the line, we can get dedicated dupes to do all of that work. So let's see how we can disassemble this area into a more efficient base. Okay, our updated lab is almost ready. We have squeezed our lab from spanning all the way vertically to going horizontally and just within this tile. We have our radiation production, we have all the research stations that we need, except for the farming one that I still need to place somewhere. But other than that, if I take a look at room overlay, this is a whole room and which is 57 tiles. If I deconstruct this tile, this will connect this to here and that will become a whole singular lab. We built a botanical analyzer over here and we also got our first bristle blossom seed that we need to analyze. So Otto here, who has advanced farming, should be able to use this. So if I click on status, not auto status, errands. Yep, so this is seed analysis, which is researching or farming. So we got a ton of achievements. We got easy living, good egg, hatching a new egg, critter morph from egg, entered the oil biome for the first time, 1 year. Oh damn! Yeah, it has been a 1 year since we started this colony. Yeah, we have done that. That's fine. But overall, you can see there are a couple of good things that in our colony that average power produced. So you can see most of the power we are producing, we are actually just wasting it, burning it out. And this is for a good reason that we need polluted water because we don't have good sources of water on this map. So that's good. Oxygen produced is constant. Oxygen consumption is almost constant. Consumption is constant now. Calorie generation, calorie consumption, and this is the interesting bit: the amount of critters that we have. And I believe most of this is just slicksters. Now, slicksters are kind of like a wild population growth. So, if I go to my slickster ranch and see, here you can see we have around 540 kgs of CO2. These generators generate so much CO2s that our current ranch cannot handle it. So, what we do is we just feed all of our excess slicksters. So, right now we have 67 slicksters around here, which are also trying to consume all of this CO2 and convert it into petroleum. That petroleum basically gets burned down, obviously, but this is the best part about this kind of a CO2 brick, where you generate a bunch of CO2, you pass that cold CO2 into heating, you use the same heat to heat up the CO2, feed it to slicksters, and you just burn it. So this is like a self-sustaining brick. So we have been running our radiation experiments for quite some time. It has been like 10 20 cycles, I believe. And we already got one of the crystal blossoms to mutate. We built up our laboratory where we just shuffled around some things where instead of having the planetarium over here, I moved it up here. And as you can see, now this is a tiny perfect laboratory which has everything in it, all the research machines that we need, except for obviously telescope. I'm going to put that telescope later somewhere. in our rocketry boosting session. But that is for right now. What we did is we just cleaned up this area, moved a little bit of doors from the school stream vent. So now instead of having three of these, we have two of these. Water is moved over here, and all of our seeds and storage is protected from pips using these doors. They kept getting into all of these doors and digging out all the storage, which was not fun. So that is why I did that. I also did a little bit of renovations over here where all these shine bugs or shine nymphs have been moved over to a radiation area so that we get tiny bit more radiation out of our radiation generation plant. I covered everything here with metal doors, specially made out of copper ore. So rat bolts can pass through all these copper ores and directly go to our machine without hurting any of our dupes. This is locked, so no dupe should be able to get up, but they should still be able to fill up this storage container with phosphorite. I also put a door here because dupes keep idling in this area. I didn't want that, so right now only Nicola is allowed to go in here. And there's a one tile gap, so this connects radiation research materials study terminal to the rest of the lab. We have slight bit of optimizations in terms of auto sweeper. This auto sweeper can access this side which holds data banks if we have any. It can also feed dirt to our research terminal, and there is lighting everywhere obviously. And we have our botanical analyzer here. So our botanical analyzer has detected our first mutation, that is Blossom Blossom exuberant. And exuberant is one of the best mutations to have because it at a cost of increased fertilization, it increases the yield by 2x. So what I'm thinking is we do have access to pips, and we can use pips to make some kind of a automation contraption which should be able to replicate all the seeds that we are ever going to need. So all we need is to just get one mutated seed of each and every kind, and using the seed replicator automation we should be able to get unlimited number of plants of that mutation variety. And I'm thinking this seems like a nice and decent closed area for that automation. It's very hard to access for us anyways, and yeah, we can fit in a couple of auto sweepers and pips here. They can stay here and start replicating the seeds as we need them. So let me figure out a design that could work over here. And the idea of behind that design is that we want to have a place where pips can plant all the seeds that we need, and we should get automated output of replicated seeds. So after a fair bit of trial and error, I think I'm going to go with this design. So what you see here in this design is two farm tiles that are placed right opposite on each other, facing each other with a 3 tile gap in between them. So you can grow any plants here, which is 2 tile height, 3 tile height, doesn't really matter. We can grow any plants over here. Okay, um, and we have a pip drop off here, so we can put our pips here, be it wild or be it tamed coming from your farms. You can just have a drop off here which will allow pips to be dropped off here, and I'm going to keep, let's say, at least 2 pips over here. So how this design works is, if there is a seed on this tile, that triggers the whole mechanism. So I'm going to put a bristle blossom exuberant seed that we found earlier and just put it over here, and I'm going to allow duplicants inside temporarily just to put that seed here. Once we prime the system out, we want to keep all the duplicants out of here to make it duplicity proof. So that is what we are going to do. So Nisbat is going to drop a seed over here, and automation wise you can see this is going to trigger a green signal because the weight here is above 0, which means that if the weight here is above 0, it will trigger an automation, and it will filter out for 5 seconds. We want to do that because sometimes people just hang around over here, and they will false trigger this thing when there is no seed. We don't want false trigger, so that's why we have a 5-second filter over there. And as soon as it detects that, it will open up this door. What it will do is it will make all this petroleum, that is 300 kgs per tile over here, to flow down over here and in this tile. So there will be no petroleum over here. What this will allow is for a pip to come in, pick up the seed and just plant it in one of these two tiles. And that is what we kind of want. We want Pip to come here and pick up the seed. And Pip has picked up the seed and planted it in this tile. Now, you can see this process is slightly sporadic. Like, we don't know exactly how much time is it going to require for a Pip to pick up the seed and plant it. So I prefer to do it with the weights rather than using timer automation. And that is why I want to have two pips in this area, so if the one pip's timer is about to expire, the other pip can plant it. So that way. But as soon as the weight here has disappeared, you can see automation wise, this has triggered a red signal which flows here and through this buffer gate, which keeps this door open for 5 seconds, just enough time for Pip to plant the seed up or down from this tile. So that is just the enough time. And as soon as that is done, this door closes and forces all the petroleum up. This will make that this bristle blossom will drown over time. It requires around like 80 seconds or 70 to 80 seconds for this to drown. But again, we don't really care about the time itself. We will automatically pick up the seed from this tile if there is a seed available. And that is done by this auto sweeper. This auto sweeper stays on most of the times and it will just wait for the seed to appear in this tile. As soon as the seed appears in this tile, this auto sweeper's job is to take that seed and break it into two parts. Now what it will do is it will pick up the seed of exuberant bristle blossom from here, put it in this smart storage bin. This smart storage bin is configured to hold 1 kilogram of material and it has 5 grams of sedimentary rock. I'll get to how you get a 5 gram piece of sedimentary rock later on, but that is the first storage that is already there. The second thing that this bin can store is any kind of seed. So what will happen is, if this bin is not full, which currently it is not full, you can see auto sweeper has picked up the bristle blossom and it is going to store it over here. So now this becomes full by having 5 grams of sedimentary rock and 995 grams of bristle blossom seed. So most of the seed is stored in here, but we leave like a 5 gram piece of bristle blossom seed right over here. You can see property wise, this should be around 5ish grams. I don't know where you see the size of, no, you can't see it on here. But anyways, we have broken the seed into two parts. Now as soon as the seed goes here, this smart storage bin sends a green signal. This green signal goes again through the same filter and buffer mechanism, 5-second filter, 5-second buffer, and that will allow this auto sweeper to do two tasks. One task is to pick up the bigger piece of the seed and put it in this smart storage bin, and pick up the smaller seed and put it in this conveyor loader, which is configured to carry all the seeds and any organic substance including meat and food to this. And this conveyor loader is going to ship everything to this conveyor chute. Now this auto sweeper cannot reach this tile. This auto sweeper can only reach these two tiles. So as soon as the seed will go here, it will re-trigger the mechanism and it will re-trigger the loop of plantation. Now all we need to do is take out the seed that is stored in here to reset this automation. And for that we have this second auto sweeper. Job of this auto sweeper is just to pick up anything that is stored in this smart storage bin and push it out using this conveyor loader. And only this auto sweeper can access this conveyor loader. This auto sweeper cannot access this conveyor loader. And everything is managed through priorities. So this conveyor loader is set to priority 1, this is set to priority 2, smart storage bin, and this is set to priority 3. So obviously the first highest priority item gets filled first. So in this case, it will fill up the big container or the smart storage bin and then put the remaining seed in here. And In this case, it will pick up the big seed from smart storage bin and push it out, and did not put anything in here. And that is what we are going to see. Now this thing is turned off with automation because I don't want this seed to fall in while this auto sweeper is on. So while this auto sweeper is on, this conveyor chute stays off. What it means is, as soon as this auto sweeper turns off, due to a NOT gate, this conveyor chute opens up, and it will open up this auto sweeper. And this will restart the cycle where Pip will go in, pick up the seed, and start planting. And that is basically our whole automated seed duplication process. This is a pretty smallish build. I can say this is around like 54 tiles in here, and we have a little bit of tile storage up here. Let's say 16, 54, 60, 70 tile build. Now you'll ask the second obvious question is, how do you get small quantities of any substance to put it in this storage bin? And to do that, we have this conveyor meter. This is a one-time priming process that we need to do. So all I did is had a conveyor meter, set it to 0.005 units of anything, and have a conveyor loader where I'm going to put in sedimentary rock. I'm using sedimentary rock because it's the least useful rock, and you are less likely to mess up anything if you open up the things. So that's why I'm putting sedimentary rock in here. One thing that you wanna make sure that there is no duplicate access to this smart storage bin, because duplicates will mess this system up by putting in any kind of storage in this bin. So we don't want duplicates to be able to access this. The second thing you'll ask is, why can't I directly use this conveyor meter to split the seed itself? And that is where I think ONI has done the smart part, where they have prevented this conveyor meter from breaking up any seeds. So you can only break up raw material, but you cannot break up any seeds or eggs to create this kind of a duplication. That's why you need this kind of a duplication process, where you need to plant the fractional seed into one of the farm tiles or natural tiles, and then dig it out. And digging out is basically done by petroleum in our case. So this is totally duplicate labor free, and gradually we'll accumulate a lot of bristle blossom exuberant seeds we can use to build up our future farm. And in the meantime, while this was all going on, we have also discovered some more unknown mutations. So this is the unknown mutation for what? I think this is sleetweed. Yes, this is sleetweed. So we have some unknown mutation sleetweed. I'm going to analyze that by bringing it out. And I think this experimentation was very successful in the terms that we are able to get mutated bristle blossom as well as sleetweed by just planting two weed warts right next to them. I just noticed our petroleum boiler is broken again, and it turns out the temperature here fell down too much because I was not pumping enough magma, so it was not able to process 10 kilograms per second. So that meant that a lot of this crude oil is basically slipping out of the petroleum boiler. So right now what I did is I just disconnected the incoming crude oil, and my hope is if I heat up this petroleum beyond, let's say, 450 something degrees Celsius, this should propagate the heat all the way over here, and we should be able to convert everything back into petroleum. I would hate to open this up and repair this manually. So let's just cross our fingers and pray. Right now what I did is I just enabled magma to flow directly from up top, so it is continuously flowing. I'm going to get rid of all this bridging and looping because I don't think it's really necessary. We need a lot of heat. All we need to do is to make sure that we are consuming only enough magma that we are producing. So right now, let's say we are producing 410 grams per second. So I think that is what I am going to set this automation to. So we'll consume maximum amount of magma, and that is it. I can't believe it actually worked. All of this crude oil got converted into petroleum just by increasing the temperature here. So I'll take the win. Right now I decreased it to 410 degrees Celsius instead of 450, and magma is constantly pouring in at the rate of 400 grams per second. I think that should be okay in our terms. So let's focus on colonizing our home planet back again. So what I started doing is I started plumbing in oxygen from our soggy spawn. So right now this soggy spawn is supplying our atmospheric dogs and our base. So I'm just creating a pipeline to go to our supply teleporter. This way we can oxygenate the other base without having to make a full oxygen system there. I also started a little bit of cleanup in terms of rerouting of piping. Our pipes are messy as hell. We are just running them around. So I'm going to clean it up and make a nice connection. So for that, I need to break into this part and just get rid of some of this junk. But I realized when I was opening this, there are a ton of germs, and these germs are coming from our tiny little critter mobs. This is not a biggest problem because even though germs are here, these germs are not really there in our base, even though we are just pumping this oxygen directly here, because the temperature is too hot, as well as germs die off in clean oxygen. So that's why there are not many germs in there. But still, I would like to get rid of these germs, and I'm thinking the best way to do that would be just to put decontamination with some radiation. So maybe just put a natural tile somewhere over here, and using that natural tile we can just plant one of these V spots over here, and that should kill off all the germs before it gets pumped into our main base. So I think I am going to do that. For that I need to cook up some dirt in this tile. So yeah, we need to do some changes. First of all, duplicants are not allowed to put polluted water in here. Then I'm going to allow duplicates to go through this checkpoint. So now duplicates are able to path here. They need to deconstruct this. We need to put a tile over here and put a little bit of, I guess, fertilizer here. We can easily cook fertilizer into dirt. If you take a look at fertilizer, yep, fertilizer converts it into dirt in at 125 degrees Celsius. And we have a heat source right over here. We have a glass forge. I can just pipe the hot glass to just go down and cook it into dirt. I kind of just realized it. I'm overthinking it. We have access to steam sauna, which is right now at 133 degrees Celsius. So we don't really need to get heat here. All we need to do is connect it thermally to our steam sauna, put some fertilizer over here, and it should automatically bake into dirt. Huh, that is much simpler solution. Done. Finally, we have a dirt tile. Now we can get rid of all this junk. Finish this up. Put a pip here and just plant out of these spots. So give me a second while I do all that. And here we have it. Our pip has started planting and these bodies here. So if I click on germs here, these germs will start dying very fast. You can see in real time these germs are dying because our radiation levels are horrendous. Where's the radiation overlay? Here it is. It is around like, yeah, 247 rats. None of the germs are going to survive here. Just making sure dupes are, extra well taken care of. I'm just going to get rid of some of this leftover debris. Just put an auto sweeper here and auto sweeper can take it out. And we should also get this pip out. This poor pip should not be isolated in here. So yeah, we'll just pull the pip back. And the facility is back up and running. Everything is back to normal. All the permissions are properly set. And piping wise, you can see now we have clean ventilation piping. That is oxygen coming from this side, oxygen coming from this side. This side, it is directly going to get fed into our teleport supplier. Now all we need to do is figure out who are we going to send on the other planetoid. Let's take a look at our duplicates. So right now I'm thinking Ellie has the least amount of points needed and she is pretty decent in terms of digging and building. She's also skilled in atmosuits. Everybody's skilled at atmosuits. So I think Ellie would be our first contender to the other planetoid. She can start digging and she can start building some of the basic necessities like atmosuit stocks and stuff that we need. We will second of all we'll probably send Bani. Bani is the mechatronics engineer and she can do a lot of stuff related to that. But as you can see, morale is not really good because right now I'm not feeding them anything like barbecue on this planetoid. But we have around 646,000 calories of barbecue that we can ship to the other planetoid. So let's start one by one. First of all, teleporter wise, Ellie, your job is to get into the teleporter, go to the other side, and we'll send you all the resources that you need, including all the metals, steel, plastic, and everything. So there goes Ellie and teleport. Good job, Ellie. I'm also going to put all of these stuff out. So right now I'm just trying to push all this stuff to the other planetoid. So I brought steel, glass, plastic. We do need some lead, so let me just put on some lead as well. Maybe 2000 kilograms of lead is okay. 2 tons of lead is okay, and I'm just going to put it here. So this way this auto sweeper can load everything to the other planetoid. And perfect timing, Ellie is here. Popped, oh, 5 kilograms of polluted oxygen. Yeah, it has been off-gassing a lot. So okay, we'll start carving out a base somewhere over here. We just need to make sure that we have all the basic necessities and oxygen is going to directly come from this way. Right now we have plenty of oxygen pressure, so we don't have to worry about that. So let me figure out where can we actually make a decent base, because I also want to start using this somnium synthesizer and this biobuilder lab. So this would be a very distributed base. Like we have some things over here, some things over here, some things over here. So I think it might be a good place to start using tubes, transport tubes. Maybe I'll just create a base over here, because here we have two things. We not just have the teleporters, we also have the supply teleporter output. So we can directly plug our oxygen output right over here. Huh. I think this will be our smallish design of a temporary base. What we need is a little bit of bedrooms, a couple of dining chairs here for our dupes, and access to food. I think I'm going to put some atmosphere stock somewhere over here so we can just go in this cold biome and keep all of our dupes in the hot biome for now. We'll have to insulate everything. We will have to create a more permanent base later on, but I think this should do for now temporarily while we are getting the dupes here. Unfortunately, Ellie has walled herself out. Ellie, dig this thing first. The dupes. Anyways, so we'll put our toilet somewhere over here where the water does not freeze, and import all more dupes over here. Right now we are just getting all the stuff from our main planetoid to there. We need a lot of metals. We need a lot of food, lot of plastic and stuff like that. So everything is just getting teleported using this supply teleporter. And this thing is still recharging 26%. So in one cycle, in 4 cycles we can send yet another dupe to the other planetoid. But my overall plan on this planetoid is to build a sustainable base and use this somnium synthesizer. So we need to be able to put 6 dupes here, whose job is just gonna be to sleep and generate somnium for all of our colony. And all the work that has to be done in this colony will be done by the build bots. We'll probably just depend on oxygen coming from our teleporter because we don't really care making this base self-sufficient. I think that should work for now. Power wise, I think I'm going to run it with geothermal. So we have lots of magma over here. We can certainly dump this magma over here. I think this is the vent that we are probably looking for. This is the hot water vent. I should uncover it soon enough. Once we have atmospheres running over here, I'll start doing that. So let Ellie build all of these things. We will also put a party phone, or this way Ellie can talk to other duplicants. Or yeah, there's a lot of polluted oxygen. I need to cover this up as soon as possible. So before doing that, I need atmospheres. We are starting to make a little bit of progress. We have a mini bedroom up and running. We have our dining room, but we just need to make sure that these rooms are just big enough. So right now this is a mess hall. It will give +3 morale. As you can see, our stress is not good. Stress is really bad at this point. So I'm just trying to get our morale up and running before we can do anything. So we can quickly get, I guess, how big is this? If I shut it off here, I think we can make it a natural park or nature reserve. I think that would be great. And Ali's stress has reached the breaking point. She's destroying the oxygen supply. I think that's fine. Let her express herself. That's fine. We'll disable auto repair and let's see what she does. She's going to destroy some sandstone tiles and stuff. Ellie, Ellie, Ellie. If you can just finish up this wire, we can start atmosuits, and once you have the atmosuits, you don't have to worry about stress. But no, she has decided to go on a tantrum and destroy everything. Yeah, that's fine. We anyways wanted to get rid of this base. That is, I guess, one way of doing that. We unfortunately cannot send anybody else to the rescue just yet because the supply teleporter is still recharging and we don't have any printable duplicants yet. I am actually debating whether we should open up this cryo tank and maybe we will find a decent enough dupe for being the sleeper there. That's okay. Nothing can stand in our way because we have enough duplicants and duplicant labor to unclog this. Maybe we will get somebody decent. And right now I'm just shipping a couple of atmosuits over to the other side because yeah, we want a little bit of atmosuits over there just so that we have a couple of them in spare. Right now we have how many? Just one atmosuit here. Oh yeah, the next one is incoming. Ellie, where are you? High stress. You are still destroying stuff. And looking at time, I think it's about time we end this episode. I know it has taken longer for me to produce this one, but I'm traveling, so it's gonna take a little bit more time. But I hope you folks enjoyed this series so far. Hope to see you folks next time.